There was a blind man named Isaac who lived in a small village at the foot of a mountain. Despite his blindness, Isaac was known throughout the village for his wisdom and compassion, and people often came to him seeking advice and comfort. One day, as Isaac was sitting outside his home, a traveller stopped by to rest and have a drink of water. The two struck up a conversation, and the traveller was struck by the kindness and compassion of this blind man. He asked Isaac how he could be so wise and understanding, despite his inability to see the world around him. Isaac smiled and replied, "My dear friend, I may be blind, but I see more than most people do. You see, when we rely on our eyes to see, we often only look at the surface of things, the colours, shapes and textures. But when we rely on our hearts to see, we can sense the deeper truths that lie beneath." The traveller was intrigued and asked Isaac to tell him more. Isaac began to speak, his words flowing like a gentle stream. He told the traveller about the way the wind whispered secrets to him, about the way the sun felt on his face, and the scents of the flowers in the garden. He spoke of the songs of the birds and the way they lifted his spirit, even when he could not see them. The traveller listened intently, his heart opening up to the world in a new way. He realized that, like Isaac, he too had been blind in his own way, focusing only on the surface of things and missing the beauty and depth that lay beneath. As they spoke, the two men heard a commotion coming from the village. A young girl had fallen into a well, and the villagers were frantically trying to rescue her. Isaac immediately got up and offered to help, despite his blindness. The traveller watched in amazement as Isaac navigated the rough terrain with ease, sensing the location of the well and the movements of the people around him. With his guidance, they were able to pull the girl to safety, and the village erupted in cheers and gratitude. Afterwards, as they sat together, the traveller realised that Isaac's blindness had in fact given him a special kind of vision, one that allowed him to see beyond the surface of things and into the heart of the world itself. Isaac explained that being blind had forced him to rely on his other senses, and in doing so, he had developed a deep awareness and connection to the world around him. He had learned to trust his instincts, to feel the vibrations of the earth, and to hear the whispers of the wind. The traveller was deeply moved by Isaac's words, and he knew that he had much to learn from this wise and humble man. Over the course of several weeks, the traveller spent time with Isaac, learning from him and listening to his stories. He discovered that Isaac had a unique ability to see beyond the surface of things, to sense the deeper truths that lay beneath. Isaac taught him to listen to his heart, to trust his instincts, and to cultivate a deep awareness of the world around him. He showed him how to see the beauty and depth in everything, in the sound of a bird's song, the rustling of leaves in the wind, and the laughter of children at play. As the days passed, the traveller felt himself changing. He began to see the world in a new way, with a sense of wonder and awe that he had never experienced before. He felt his heart opening up to the beauty and mystery of life, and he knew that he had Isaac to thank for this transformation. Eventually, the time came for the traveller to leave the village, and the blind man smiled, feeling his heart fill with joy. He was not alone, and he had a newfound sense of purpose. From that day on, he would continue his journey, sharing his story with others and helping them see the beauty in the world around them. As the sun began to set, the blind man and the young boy made their way back to the village. Along the way, they encountered many people who were inspired by the blind man's story. They stopped to listen and to share their own experiences. The blind man's message of hope and love spread quickly, and soon people from all over the region were coming to hear him speak. Years passed and the blind man grew old. His vision never returned, but he saw the world in a different way. He had learned to see beyond the surface of life, to see the beauty in everything and everyone. He had become a teacher, a mentor and a friend to many, and as he lay on his deathbed surrounded by his loved ones, he smiled one last time, knowing that his legacy would live on through the countless lives he had touched. The young boy, now a grown man, was one of those lives. He had never forgotten the blind man and the lesson he had taught him. He had dedicated his life to helping others see the beauty in the world, just as the blind man had done for him. And as he stood by the blind man's side, watching him slip away, he felt a sense of gratitude and peace wash over him. He knew that the blind man's vision had touched his life in a profound way, and he would carry his message with him always. In the days that followed, the village held a grand celebration in honor of the blind man. People from all over came to pay their respects and to share stories of how he had changed their lives. They spoke of his kindness, his wisdom, and his unwavering faith in the goodness of humanity. And as they gathered around his grave, they knew that he had left a lasting legacy, one that would continue to inspire and uplift generations to come. The blind man's vision may have been taken away, but he had gained so much more. He had found a new way of seeing, one that allowed him to see beyond the surface of life, to see the beauty in everything and everyone. And through his courage, his perseverance, and his unwavering faith, he had inspired countless others to do the same. As we conclude this story, let us remember the powerful message that the blind man's journey teaches us. Though life may bring us challenges and obstacles, it is up to us to see beyond the surface and to find the beauty and goodness that exist all around us. May we all be inspired by his unwavering faith, his courage, and his perseverance, and may we carry his legacy with us always. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and until next time, may we all continue to see the world with open hearts and open minds.